Welcome to the Tennessee Titans. This is going to be great. I think you're going to enjoy this afternoon because you're going to meet some of the guys who have represented the brand very well in their time as Tennessee Titans. Some of them draft picks, some of them free agents. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with one of the guys that you saw in that video there with probably the most historic Titans play in history is the wild card game that they won in the last few seconds over Buffalo, the Music City Miracle. The guy that you saw take that lateral and take it 75 yards. He is a published author. He has a master's degree. He is a doctorate. He is Dr. Kevin Dyson, number 87. Please come up, sir. Wide receiver. And he's getting ready to open up a charter school here not too long from now, Music City Academy, that he's wearing there on his head. So he's charged with one of the more important things in his life post-football career for sure. Up next, I would like to bring forward another top draft pick of the franchise. This guy was number 16th overall pick in 2010. And he had an interesting journey once he got here because he started as a hand-in-the-dirt defensive end and moved. When they moved to a 3-4 defense, he went to be an outside linebacker and a pass rusher that way. And, man, he racked up so many great quarterback pressures, over 45 quarterback sacks. Please welcome Derrick Morgan, number 91. Now a couple of I tell you what. Let's bring out one more draft pick that was really good, and he can be well served to you today as some advice to how to do things in the community like these two gentlemen I just introduced. This guy's a 5th round pick, and he's a hometown guy. He's from Milan, Tennessee, in West Tennessee. Played at Kentucky. Was drafted in the 5th round. I think pick 154, if I'm not mistaken. Please welcome Avery Williamson. 151. He knows. And last but not least, arguably one of the greatest free agent acquisitions in Titans history. This guy was a Swiss Army knife, a 6th-round pick in the 2006 draft by the San Francisco 49ers. But they had a guy named Vernon Davis they had taken earlier that draft in the 1st round. So when he became a free agent, he came here and he set all kinds of records receiving, especially for a tight end. There was a window of time, but 2013 to 2017, he had all the records, not Rob Gronkowski in the league. Please welcome number 82, Delanie Walker. So I'm going to start to just ask this question to the entire panel because you guys have been there and done that, and these young guys here are trying to pave their way at this next level. But I would like for you each, in your own words, to go through some of the pitfalls for them to avoid on it or off the field or both.
I guess I'll start. First, I'll say it don't matter where you're picked. If you came in as a free agent, it's about the opportunity you have here. There's only 1,500 or so of these jobs, and the idea is to be one of those at the end of August, going to September, right? The level of expectation, I was a 16th pick, he was a 16th pick, 151 and a free agent. Again, they give you a kind of a glimpse of a diverse sense of guys that have had opportunities to play and different levels of accountability and expectations. And it's how you manage those expectations that's really going to get you to that next level. You're going to have, especially nowadays, where everybody has access to you. You're on social media and everything else. It's how you manage those expectations internally and the things outside of you externally that are speaking to you. Why are you not getting the ball? Why are you not doing this? I saw this receiver, he getting the ball. Why are you not? All that stuff, you got to learn how to navigate that stuff and stay in yourself and find ways to make plays, because the idea is when you get opportunity, to take advantage of opportunity, don't look back. I think it was Tiki Barber said it years ago. He was a backup running back at the time, and he's Hall of Famer and things now. And he said the guy in front of him got injured. I can't remember who it was. And he got his opportunity. He said, I'm not giving it back. And that's how you got to view this opportunity. And what I would always tell young guys, if coach is screaming at a guy about not being in his playbook, guess what you're supposed to be doing in your playbook? If he's screaming at a guy about not blocking, guess what you're doing You blocking till the whistle stops. They got to keep blowing the whistle. So just because you just don't know. There's only 1,500 of these jobs, and the idea is to get one of them. So, and I know we got more, but I'll let them go. So
I would also say pitfalls, like you got to look at this situation that you're in. You have a lot. Some of y'all got a lot of money. Yeah, a lot of money.
Number 4 pick,
y'all. He know I ain't want to put him out there, but you getting money now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to. It's gonna be a lot of people with their hands out. It's gonna be a lot of people coming knocking on the door. Remember me? I'm the one who took you to practice. You're gonna have scammers coming at you, trying to have you invest. These is things you have to watch out for, because that can be a pitfall. You investing in your homeboy's company, starting a company, investing in stocks, and you worried about it because you don't know if you made the right decision, because you don't really know this person, so you don't know if he's taking your money. Is the money moving the way you want it to? That stuff bears on you during the season. And the team doesn't care if someone stole your money. If you performing at a really bad level, they don't want you here. You can't go up there and be like, hey, I invested with the wrong people. They stole half my money. Okay. We still need you to perform. So I'm going to say be careful who you surround yourself with, who you giving money to, who you investing in. We have programs that help you find out if these people are legit. That is a pitfall. There's so many players who don't talk about that, but they've been scammed out their money. And they don't like to say it because they like, damn, I can't believe it happened to me. But it can happen to you. So that'll be a pitfall. I'm telling you, be careful who you trust your money with, who you going to invest in, or who you going to start a business with. Just be careful with that situation.
I mean, we could wrap on that right there. I think everything Delanie just said is 100% true. The one thing that I would say, looking back my rookie year when I was a young pup, was I wish I would have come up with my standard earlier in my career, whereas I had to develop it in more of a reactive sense. Like, I got in, I tore my ACL, I was getting injured, I wasn't performing, and I was forced to come up with like a routine and a standard to be a professional, right? So I would encourage y'all to find the vets on the team, the people that you know who are doing it right, and just be their shadow. Just follow them around, figure out what their routine is, what are they doing with their free time, simple stuff like that. I would say is very important starting out.
Man, it's crazy just sitting there thinking about, I'm 34 now, and the vets is 27, 28. It's crazy how fast time flies. But I would say, I mean, really the talking about the money stuff, and surround yourself with the right people, that's huge. I would say a moment from my rookie year that I will never forget is week 1. I remember we played Kansas City. Zach Brown got hurt, tore his pec, and he was starting over me. And that week, I remember I came in late to a meeting. I wasn't paying attention. Coach Lou was like, hey, he told us, hey, young guys got to come in early. And I don't know, it didn't register that I was supposed to come in early. And I'm walking in willy-nilly, first week, we about to play the Chiefs, I done made the team. And I walked past his office, he's like, what you doing? I'm like, going to get breakfast? Supposed to be me. And I was like, Coach, I didn't know, Coach, but it ain't no excuses. You got to pay attention to every detail. And so that week, I ain't know Zach was going to get hurt. Fourth play, I'll never forget it. Tore his pec, and he didn't put me in because he wasn't confident in me going out there and performing. So I was, starting on special teams, but it hit me at that moment. I was like, dang, did I just miss my window to go out there and be able to play defense? And so that next week, I remember I was talking to Wesley Woodyard. I was like, I ended up getting a schedule, and I asked him what do you do? So I was really preparing myself and seeing what I need to do to prep during the week and stuff. So I found a vet, got a schedule, and then I actually paid attention, made sure I knew what was going on, make sure I wasn't late. And then I think week 3, that's when they felt confident, threw me in the rotation, and then week 5 I was starting. So, but a lot of times you can miss your opportunity. It could have easily been man, we ain't going, you know what I'm saying? Or they could have I could have pissed off the wrong person. They could have cut me. Like, you just never know. So when you get the opportunity, don't squander it, and just make sure that you're on point.
I'm glad you told that story because, guys, he played in 63 games for the Titans. He started 59 of those 63, so he got it right, and he had that early wake-up call. Derrick, I'm going to bounce this back to you, and then you other guys can answer as it comes to you. But you talked about you had an injury week 4 of your rookie year that wiped out the rest of your rookie year. And every one of these guys out here have had some type of adversity on or off the field. But when you're at this level, how do you handle that? What did you do? What did you do differently? What's the advice that you would have when adversity comes your way?
Yes, it's not if but when, right? I would say my mindset, I went through a lot because I had never gotten that type of injury before. I had played all my years at Georgia Tech, no major injuries. And then as a first-round pick, blowing out my ACL my 4th game was like devastating to my mindset. Not even the body, it was my mind. And so that moment really forced me to like develop more of a mental strength because, you know, there was a part of me that was like just wanted to like spiral and just kind of feel sorry for myself. But then it was like, you know, everybody's saying the same thing. Nobody cares what's really going on outside of here. They just all that matters is performance at the end of the day. And so for me, it was like I got to do everything I can to give myself a shot. I got to get on the field. I got to get healthy. I got to take care of all the things off the field so my mind can be focused on the main thing. Like you've probably heard this, keep the main thing, especially when you're young, right? You're still trying to figure out like what's the league like. The hardest thing about the league is not getting here, but staying here. So average career, I don't know what it is now. When I played, the average career was 3 years. If you take out punters, kickers, and quarterbacks, it's like 2. So like the hardest thing is staying here. So when the adversity hits, the adversity will hit. It's a 100% injury rate game. You're going to have off the field changes and challenges with your family and your friends. It's like, can you stay dialed in when you walk in through these doors? Can you put all that stuff to the side and lock in? Because at the end of the day, it's about performance. Whatever they say, whatever it is, y'all been in this game long enough to know that it's about performance. And so the stronger your mindset is, the better your performance is going to be.
You got to look at it. We all been taught to protect, provide, and not complain, right? And sometimes when we get injuries, we don't complain. We kind of go in the dark. We kind of talk to ourselves. We kind of hold it in and wonder, can I be as good as I was? Is this injury going to affect me? Am I going to get cut? What does it look like next year? Sometimes we have to vent. You have to be able to talk to somebody. You got to have somebody that's in your space that you feel gives you that safe space to open up, to let them know how you're feeling. Because when we bundle that in, you're going to explode. And when you explode, it ain't in the right way. It can be in the wrong way. Sometimes I felt like when I had that person I can talk to, if it was my mother, my father, my agent, my best friend, and I can give them something and tell them how I was feeling, because I can't tell everybody else in this facility. Obviously, you don't want them to feel like, oh, he's losing a step. He's second guessing himself. You don't want that. So you got to have that person you feel like you can open up to. Get that off your chest. Release yourself, because I'm telling you, when you release that energy, you feel like yourself again. We like to bundle stuff up and hold it in. But I'm telling you, when you explode, it ain't good. It ain't for the best. And she can tell you that. It ain't for the best. You got to have somebody you can communicate and talk to. That's how you get stuff off your chest. That's how you bounce back, because you got somebody in your corner who's pushing you like, bro, you're going to be the same. Man, you've been doing this all your life. It's just another stepping stone. So always have somebody you can talk to in that safe space.
If you don't have some sort of resource, and I didn't take that, I didn't do it. I know that now as a grown man that I should have had that. I didn't have that. I didn't, because I didn't go to my homies that were in the league. They can't relate. They don't know what it's like to be having a microscope on you all the time, having millions of dollars in your pocket, trying to keep on, stay in the job, be relevant, watching what's going on in the league. They can't relate to that. So take that time to find somebody to have a resource, whether it is a therapist, somebody that you trust that you can just vent to and let that go, because because if you don't, you bring that in with you, it's going to affect your play whether you realize it or not. And I can attest to that as a first-round pick, as somebody who had career-threatening injuries, really ended my career early. I was first-round pick, and I only got 6 years out of it because of my injuries. We go through the list: knee, Achilles, hamstring, all the wheels. I was fast. All of a sudden, now all my injuries on my lower extremities. And so to have something or somebody that you can relate to, that you can just get stuff off your chest, that you can just let it go and come back to work, that's crucial, I'm telling you.
Plus, Dr. Dyson had the pressure of being drafted ahead of Randy Moss. That's one that he doesn't talk about a lot, but I know that had to be huge.
Yeah, we can do a dissertation on that. So, I was the first receiver taken, and all eyes on you right immediately, right? You come to a franchise, first receiver take, you expect to be the savior, so to speak, the next component. And y'all saw the video. I was on that roster. It was Eddie's and Steve's team. Really, it was Eddie's team. Steve was kind of the complement to Eddie. We would run first, run second. And then on third, we're throwing to Frank Wycheck. Matter of fact, offense coordinator's philosophy was you can't go broke making a profit. So he was telling Steve, throw it to tight end, 4 yards, because if we getting 4 and 4 and 4, well, that's 12 yards. We first down. That was his philosophy. And I'm like, I can't even get the rock. I'm getting 1 and 2 and 3 attempts a game. He's getting 9, 10, 11. And then, of course, everybody now, even to this day, 20-some years later, people still, we should have drafted Randy Moss. Like, damn, y'all let it go. That was 98. Like, I'm 50 years old now.
I didn't make the break.
No, not you. Like, on my birthday, somebody tweeted, like, we should have drafted Randy Moss. Titans sent out a tweet. Happy birthday, Kevin Dyson, first-round draft pick, 1998. We should have drafted Randy Moss. Like, damn, it's my birthday. But anyway, that's cold-blooded. Man, but my thing is, man, I was dealing with that stuff internally, man. I wrote about it in the book, but I was dealing with it internally. A lot of people didn't realize how that really was affecting me, how I really wanted to be at that level, but I wasn't getting the same opportunities. And I was trying to make the most of the minimum opportunities I had, but I wasn't getting them. So after that Super Bowl, after the yard short, the next year we get a new offensive coordinator. He literally comes to me after I just had a big game against the Chiefs. And he was a first-year offensive coordinator, come from the Broncos, and he told me, pulled me aside, he said, get ready, I'm about to feature you. Bet. That's all I needed to hear. That was the first time I had anybody since I had been in the league tell me I was about to be the guy. The very next week in practice, we had a bye week, getting ready for Steelers, and it used to be a big deal around here. Not so much as it was when I first got here, when we were in the Central, and we were all in the same division with the Steelers. That was like everybody but tighten up. That was like your rival. That was like your big college rival. That was what it used to be here with the Steelers. Now it's Jacksonville and Baltimore. And we had a bye week right before that, and we were going through style adjustments in our scheme, and I had a teammate, scout team, run through me in practice. And I saw him. I thought I was just going to run through it. Planted, foot went, body went away, leg went the other. I tore everything. Matter of fact, take me to tell you less in my knee that I didn't tear, to tell you what I tore. And that threatened my career. And so I'm 25 years old in the surgery room thinking, dang, am I ever going to be able to play again? Let alone, I just told you, I just saw Moss, he's over here balling. I'm like, now I got this career-threatening injury, first-round draft pick. I think I'm letting everybody down from my family and the team and the city. And now how you overcome that? And that's the stuff we were talking about before. You got to have somebody you can talk to. I didn't. I just kept it all in. I kept watching them. They went 13-3 that year and lost to Baltimore in the divisional round, right? That's right. It wasn't a championship game. It was the divisional round. And I'm just watching that stuff, just soaking, like, man, I should be out there and all things like that. Because sometimes, I don't know if y'all had injuries, football, like you said, 100% injury. But if you ever been on sidelines watching on TV, watching your teammates ball, man, that does something to your psyche, especially when you know your talent warrants you to be out there on the field. And that's just something I just kept. From that point on, I had a hard time getting out of that hole. I just always wanted to be to that next level. Then I came back, had a great year. Next year's my free agent year. My year, this is the one, right? Everybody wants that second contract. I'm in my 5th year here. Get to 11th game, balling. Guy hog tackles me from the back. I'll go up for a post, grab it, pulls me by my collar, land on the back of my leg. My leg overextends, tear my hamstring off the bone. Didn't know you can do that. So I'm on the plane, I'm away from Baltimore, can't bend my leg, and then I have surgery again, and then I'm a free agent. I had teams want to sign me the minimum deal. I said, no, I'm 27 years old. I'm going to sign a 1-year deal so I can get back on the market. I signed a 1-year deal with Carolina. I tore my hamstring in November. I'm back in minicamp in June. June 3rd, I tear my Achilles in minicamp. It was so bad. I had my teammates here calling me. They was ESPN ticket. They calling me like, you okay, you okay? Coaches calling me. GM called me. Everybody called me like, dang, I just couldn't get a break. Tore my Achilles. I still came back and played that November, played in the Super Bowl, and then signed up. I bounced around from that point on. But my point is, man, like, I thought my future was bright. My talent warranted me to be a 10-year plus guy. That was my talent. You don't go 16th pick and not have that kind of talent. You don't go my talent warranted that. But it wasn't in the cards for me because of the injuries. So what do you have from there? I've learned so much after retiring that I wish, like he said, if I'd have went to that veteran, if I'd have sought some people out, like how do you set yourself up? And I did okay, and I'm fine. But I imagine how much more I could have been better off had I reached out to people and understood what ifs. You know what I mean? Because, not that I thought I should have had or I deserved anything. I knew I had to work hard, always did, but I did not expect to be done after really 8 years of chasing this dream at 30 years old. I thought I would be able to retire on my own accord in my mid-30s and say I'm ready to go, not somebody push me out because they didn't think I could do it anymore. So all this to say, man, we've been here, so y'all don't have to. When you have your own kids, you're raising them, that's what you're going to tell your kids. I've been through it, so you don't have to. And that's exactly why we're up here and we get to relay this information to you.
How important was special teams for you going forward in your path that ended up being a really good career for the Tennessee Titans? You did good things in San Francisco, but it really took off here.
Yeah, special teams was very important to my road to glory, to being where I'm at today. I would say because I was drafted at 6th round. I think it was like 156 or something like that. And I was a receiver. And 2 weeks in, they switched me to tight end. I remember this, and y'all probably heard me say this on my podcast, but I come in. I was number 14 when I first got there, and then I remember coming in. As rookies, we got to come in early. So I get there early, and I thought they moved my locker because I seen 46. I'm like, man, what the hell? 46? That's trash, right? So, like, in my head, I'm like, what? I went from 14 to 46? That ain't good. That's what I was thinking. So then we call them the Grim Reaper. Y'all gonna find out who these people are sooner or later. We call them the Grim Reaper. They come around, you barely see them. Hey, bring your playbook. Coach want to see you. We don't like them, but they come around. They get you out of here. So he come, he like, hey, Delanie, Coach want to see you upstairs. I'm like, damn, Cat's like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? I'm already like, I'm getting cut. I ain't even do nothing. I've been here for 2 weeks. So I get up there, and this is the story of them switching my position. So he go, hey, you got to play tight end. We need a tight end. We think you're going to be a great tight end. I tell him, sir, I don't know how to play tight end. I don't know what a 3-tech is. He barely looks at me. He looks up. He go, you better learn or we going to cut you. So I go, I walk out. I call my agent like, hey, I'm about to get cut. We need to find a different team. And this is the people I say in your corners, you got to have them. My agent, man, we still like this today. He ain't my agent because I ain't going to pay his, but we homies still, you know what I'm saying? We still homies. And I called him, and I'm like, damn, Vince, I'm about to get cut. He go, man, I ain't never seen you turn down a fade because that's how we talk to each other. And I'm like, yeah, you right. He like, go out there and show him you can be a tight end. I'm like, man, we got Vernon Davis. He's like, Vernon Davis who? I'm like, okay, you playing, but I get where you going. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I get out there. I don't know a lick of tight end. I'm getting cussed out every day. I'm getting dog walked. I mean dog walked. But I was always told if a coach cuss you out, that means he likes you. When he stopped talking to you, your ass is gone. So he would cuss me out every day. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, I can't do the tight end, but they was like, who can play special teams? And I'm like, I'm raising my hand for everything, right? So then they put me on special teams. I'm a lunatic, excuse my language, but I'm crazy. I'm nuts. They out there, they call me D-Lay because I'm out there laying, you dig? I'm knocking cats out. I don't care any moment I get. We used to have the wedge, and I would go bust that wedge open because I'm like, I'm about to put the fear in 70. Any big 70, 69, they soft. I ain't saying y'all are, but usually those, yeah, y'all too. Usually those guys, I'm gonna run through them. So I had that grit, and I played every special teams. That was kickoff. I was the kickoff returner. I was the returner. That's how cold I was. I was the heaviest dude out there, and I'm playing return. I only needed one more return to break the record for a tight end returning the kick. I only returned one for 98 yards. But I'm nuts. I'm out there just going ham on everything, field goal, whatever. I'll jump over the middle, so then that helped me. I started getting paid $3 million a year. They read me up my second year like, you so good, we gonna pay your $3 million a year to play special teams. I'm like, I'm cool with special teams. I'm play special teams, but then, as I start getting better and learning the position, and I had Vernon Davis, so I was a sponge to Vernon. Me and Vernon was roommates. We was homies like this, and he taught me how to play tight end, not to run routes, but how to block, footsteps, technique, and I absorbed it. I never went home. Every year I stayed up there with Vernon because y'all know Vernon was a jack horse, bro. That boy was huge. So I got to get bigger. So I stayed in the weight room. I bust down. And then my 5th year, they was like, you going to be the second tight end. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm like, because now I'm touching the field like on offense. And then from there on, they start calling me the Swiss Army knife. I played every position. I think I played over 22 positions. Is that something like that? I've done played every position you can play on offense, from the tackle to the guard, because we do unbalanced, fullback, wide receiver, quarterback. I'm talking about every position, and I'd say special teams is the reason why I'm able to be here, talk to you guys, because without special teams, I wouldn't be here. Because if I would have just went about it and like, damn, I don't want to play tight end, I'm going to just get cut and go somewhere else and see if I can be a receiver, it would have never worked out. But see, I made my mind up. When I talked to Vince, and I'll tell y'all, this is my dog, when he told me, go catch the fade, I'm looking like, Dad, that's what I do. I fight. So I'm about to go out there fighting. Y'all going to have to fight me every day. So I went out there and bust my special teams. They couldn't tell me no. I had to dress up. We dressed 4 tight ends. I was the 4th. You get what I'm saying? They don't do that. That is unheard of. I'm getting dressed up every game. I'm making sure of it because I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get the whole crowd hyped by go knock somebody out. I'm not even going to make the tackle. I tell somebody on the sideline like, hey, Avery, watch 69. I'm about to knock him out. Watch me. Boom. They come back. Oh, I'm like, yeah. But I'm out there, and that's what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? And I always tell people this, special teams, they start every game. They start every half. So you gonna start. No matter what, you starting. Look at it that way. Get your paper. If you're on special teams, go out there. I'm telling you, you can have a 14-year career.
And that's exactly what Delanie Walker did, because let me follow it up with this. Listen to this, what Delanie turned that into. So 2013, he's a free agent. He comes right here to the Tennessee Titans. He still lists second on the franchise's list of receptions by a tight end with 381. Over a 5-year period from 2013 to 2017, no tight end had more receptions than Delanie, not even Rob Gronkowski, 356 of those. He finished 4,423 yards, 8th in receiving touchdowns with 28 of those, and that's 9th in career receiving yards, and has the franchise's second longest streak of consecutive games with a reception, 83. 3-time Pro Bowler, 4-time captain, 2-time Walter Payton Man of the Year. Anybody else want to talk about special teams before we open the floor to questions to these young gentlemen?
I was a teamer. Shoot, my rookie year, I was starting and playing all 4 phases. It's so critical because, I remember that's how I got my shot. Being a 5th-round pick, and you got to take advantage of my opportunities because you ain't going. It's tough to get on that field and be a starter, and if you are second or lower on the depth chart, you got to play teams or you're gonna get cut.
Man, you better go to Fossil and Stewart's office after this meeting. Say, whatever, coach. Let me out there. I'm telling you.
Learn it and be good at it.
Even if you ain't on it, just be there because they love to see that. Even though once I got here, I wasn't going to ever play special teams. But guess what? I was in every meeting. That 8 o'clock, I'm in here. And he'll be like, why you in here, D? I'm like, Coach, I'm trying to get a kickoff return. He was like, everybody started laughing. But that's how you show the rookies when vets in there. this is a position that y'all should go hard at, because at the end of the day, it's gonna get you paid. If you ain't starting, you can get paid on. I'm telling you, I was getting $3 million a year.
Let me say this, and I'm going to open it up to your questions. For rest and recovery and therapy and those things, Derrick Morgan's real big into that post-career. Certainly use him as a resource. All these guys are your resources and are sounding board for you as you go on this journey. But I'm going to open it up for questions. Anybody got one? Fire away.
What's something on the field that y'all did to help y'all get into flow state?
Meditation before games was something that would help me kind of get into that flow of getting out of my head, really. And just kind of like, the better I prepared, the better I played. So the years that I had the best preparation, it was easy to get into that flow state, because it was just like, I put the work in. So your body is like, it's almost like you're expecting success when you put the work in like that. So like, but meditation before the games definitely was something that helped me later on.
I'll add on that routine. Find your routine. Find that balance. If you go on the road and go to the hotel, find that routine. A lot of guys stay up late, play cards, whatever. Find your routine, you know what I'm saying? And take care of your body too, man. You're young right now. And aside from Chad Ochocinco, eating McDonald's don't do everybody good. I'm just saying. He's one of the few could eat McDonald's all week long and don't gain a pound and still go out there and then run a 4.3. That's not everybody, so take care of your bodies. Your body is your investment now, so you got to take care of it.
We're going to wrap it up. I want to give a big round of applause and thanks to Dr. Kevin Dyson, to Derrick Morgan, to Avery Williamson, and the high-spirited Delanie Walker. Tighten up.